My name is Sunday Bada. I am here again to teach you guys how to use if and function. One of my colleagues approached me some weeks ago. She said that we wanted to increase some staff salary, especially those people that have spent 1 year, 2 years, 3 years with certain amounts of increments. And I said that if you want to achieve that, you can only use if and function to achieve that. Now I created this one for this exercise. This salary are not real. Now let's come here. I created this. Let me increase it. I created this. Number of staff that have spent 1 year, their salary will be increased by 50,000. Staff that have spent 2 years, their salary will be increased by 100,000. Staff that have spent 3 years, their salary will be increased by 150,000. And staff that have spent 4 years, their salary will be what? 4 years and above. Their salary will be increased by 200,000. Now, number of days for each years for 1 year is what? 365 days we see in a year. For those people that have spent 2 years, it means that this one plus 365 days. It means that if you have spent 2 years in an organization, it means that you have spent 730 days. If you have spent 3 years in an organization, it means that you have spent 1,095 days. 4 years, you have spent 1,460 days in that organization. Now, let's go back to the list. Which function are we going to use? We are going to use if and function to achieve this. Now, let's type current salary here. Function we are going to use if and function. Type if, brackets, and type and again, brackets. Yes, the first question, the if and function we ask you, the and function is logical 1 and logical 2. We are using two functions together. We are using if and if is a function on its own, and is a function on its own. Now the and function, the question we ask you, logical 1. What is our logical 1? It means that today's date, today is date. This is the function of today's date. You close the bracket, that's today's date, minus joining dates. That we only need joining dates, minus joining dates. If it is what? If it is equal or greater than 365 days, equal or greater than 365 days, you do what? That's logical 1. Press comma. It will ask you for the second logical. Now let me just copy this one instead of typing it all the time. Let me just copy this today's date minus joining date. Now the second logical, I will paste it here. The second logical will be what? It means that I will change this 365 days for this second one, second logical, that if today's date minus joining date is less than 730 days, it means that if the person have not spent up to 2 years but greater than 1 year, or is either equals to 1 year, greater than 1 year, but less than what? Less than 2 years. 730 is 2 years. That's why I say less than for the second logical. Now you close the bracket. When you close the bracket, you come back to the if function. The if function is logical test that we just did here. You press comma. It will ask you if the logical test you just type, if the value is true, what do you want me to return? Okay, what I want you to return is that this current salary plus what? Now, if value is true, this logical you just type, if they are true, what exactly do you want me to return? I want you to return the current salary the person is earning, which is E2 year plus 50,000. Because anybody that spent 1 year but less than 2 years, not year up to 2 years, but 1 year and above, it means that add 50,000 to the salary of that person. Press comma again. It will now ask you this next question for if function. Value if false. If it is false, you will do what? You type another if and function again, bracket and bracket again. Now the logical one is asking you, just paste the formula if today's date minus the current date the person joined. If it is what? It is equals to or greater than 730 days. It means that if it is equals to 730 is 2 years. if the person has spent exactly 2 years or greater than 2 years, comma, the logical two, you just put it there. Now the logical two, what is the, you just change 365 days. Let me come back to the number of 3 years. It means that the 3 years is 1095. 1095. Let me clean this. It means that the number less than what? Less than 1095 days. It means that the person have not spent up to 3 years. 1095, 1095 equals to the number of years, number of days the person that spent 3 years in an organization. But if the person have not spent up to 3 years, less than 1095, it means that within the 2 years and above, or equals to 2 years, because I say equals to or greater than 730. 730 mean the person has spent exactly 2 years. Then what are you going to do? You press what? You will close the bracket after the logical two. After the logical two, when you close the brackets, we will come back to the if function. If function, the next question, this is the logical test that we have performed. To date is date minus joining date equal or greater than 730. Second logical for hand, that is that it means that today's date minus joining date less than 1095. When you close the bracket, it will close the bracket. Okay, we have closed the bracket, press comma so that it will ask you for the next question. Value if true. If what you just type here logical, if it is true, what do you want me to return? Now say that the current salary, which is E2 E2 plus what? Plus 100,000. Plus 100,000. It means that the person has spent what? 2 years and above, but less than 3 years. That's 100,000 you should add. The next thing, press comma again. It will ask you value if it is false. Then you type another function again. If bracket and again brackets. The first logical, let me just paste it here. And it means that if this date, today's date minus joining date is equal to or greater than 1095, which is 3 years. That's his first logical. Press comma. The second logical, let me paste it again. You change this one, you now say that this one should be less than what? Less than number of those people that spend how many years, which is 4 years, which is 1460. 1460. After the second logical test, you close the bracket. When you close the bracket, we have come back to the if function. Press comma. If this value is true, what do you want me to do? So now say that just add the current salary of that person is earning. Just click here, plus what? If it is 3 years, it means that 150,000. Add 50,000 to that person's salary. 1, 2, 3. It means that E2 is current salary plus 150,000 if the person has spent 3 years and above, but less than 4 years. We are through with that. Press comma. Value if false. This is the final one we want to use now. If and brackets. The first logical, just paste it again because I've been pasting it. Just come back here, clean the 365 days. It means that if this one, 1460, if today's date minus joining date equals to or greater than 1460, which is 4 years, those people that have spent 4 years, then the second logical, we don't need to use second logical for this one because anybody that spent 4 years and above is entitled to what amount? Is entitled to 200,000 naira. Therefore, we don't need to use the second logical again since it is an above. Is either equals to 4 years or greater than 4 years, which is 1460 days equals to exactly 4 years. Close the bracket. When you close the bracket, we come back to the if function. The if function is logical test that you have done. Press comma. It will ask you for the next question. If value is true, what do you want me to return? If the value is true, it means that this current salary that the person is earning plus 200,000 if it is true that the person has spent 4 years and above. Add 200. Yes, add what? Add 200,000 to that person's salary. Then do what? Bracket again. If the value is false, it means that if anybody that did not spend 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, what exactly if it is false among all these logical tests that we just did? It means that return the current salary the person is earning. It means that he is not entitled to, or he or she does not entitled to an increment. Therefore, return the current salary of that person. Close the bracket. How many functions do we use? We use 4 functions. It means that we are going to close the bracket 4 times. We will use if and function 1, if and function 2, 3, 4. Therefore, we are going to close this bracket 4 times, second time, third time, fourth time. Now press enter. Now, this is our answer. Yes, this is our what? This is our answer. Just do what? Double click this. It will give you the remaining what? The remaining results. Now, if you look at here, okay, let's confirm our answer if what we did is actually correct. What we are going to do, what is exactly increment? Increment. Increment will be current salary minus old salary is correct collecting. Double click this. And number of days, let me just number of days the person has spent. This one, just say today's date minus what? Minus joining date to know the number of days each staff has spent. Now, good. If you look at here, that 100,000 was added to this first person because he joined when? He joined in February 2024. How many days has he spent? He spent 776 days. And for 2 years, what? 730 days. Once you spend 730 days, it means that 2 years, 100,000. And the people that did not entitle to an increment, let's look at the number of days they have spent. This one spent 260 days. It means that it's not up to what? 365 days, which is 1 year. It's not entitled to an increment. If you look at, sorry, if you look at this one as well, it joined in January 2026. Today's day, when I record this exercise, is 18 March 2026. It means that this person only spent 76 days, is not entitled to an increment. His old salary is 810 and his current salary will be what? 810. And Tony Emeka, HR manager. And the second one, this one too, he spent 290 days. It's not what? It's not up to 365 days. For example, if you look at this one, the last one that joined in year 2024, and the only increment is 50,000, you will assume that how come that the person that joined since 2024, we are giving him 50,000. If you look at the number of days he has spent 684 days. And if you look at the number of 2 years, those people that spent 2 years is 730. It means that he has not spent 730 days, which is equivalent to 2 years. Therefore, is 1 year and above, but less than 2 years is entitled to only what? Only 1 year, which is 50,000 naira increment. Assuming that you have thousands or 2,000 staff, how do you want to achieve this without if and function? Therefore, if and function is a very good function if we know how to use it. That is it. Thank you for listening. I remain Sunday Bada. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Bye.